Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Missha Radiance Perfect Fit cushion. I picked this one up because I wanted a new cushion and it came in a really light looking colour, which is number 19 Ivory, which is very light and warm toned. That was pretty much all that drew me to it. I think it was fairly cheap as well, and so that definitely didn't hurt. So for this one, the product description says, Cushion Packed features a formula that adheres closely to the skin for a smooth, natural looking and flawless finish. This long-lasting cushion also boasts a powerful SPF 50 to protect skin from UV rays, while added ingredients such as ceramide help lock in moisture and hydrate the skin all day long. So for this one, the packaging is really simple. It's a bright red cushion packed and it has a really nice magnetic closure and a big lid. It comes with a cushion puff, which is just your standard, but it has a really nice wide band, which I really like. I have the shade 19, which is a really light, warm-toned shade. So I'm going to apply the cushion with the provided puff, which I actually really like. It's fairly big, and it's got a nice thick band to hold my fingers down. Like I said before, the colour of this cushion is like just slightly off. It's not terrible. If anything, it's a little bit either too light or too pink. I'm not 100% sure which it is, because it can be like, you know, is it too light or is it just too bright in tone? A little bit confusing, but either way. If I put a bit more bronzer on than I normally would, you wouldn't even notice it. Or like if I have my hair down and you can't really see like a direct comparison to my neck, again, you wouldn't really notice it. So, not too bad. I'm glad that it just comes in like a really nice light colour. So that's a lot more versatile, and it's a lot easier to make lighter colours appear more balanced than it is to make a darker foundation look correct. So this is how one half of my face looks with the cushion on versus without. So you can see it definitely covers up a lot of the redness that appears on this side of the face. So today especially I just have like a lot of red patches. Anyway, like this one comes and goes. It's a really bizarre one. This, if you haven't seen it before, is a birthmark. It will not be covered up by anything. It's not like my real skin color or anything stupid like that. It's still real skin. But I've had people tell me that like I've missed this patch of foundation and I'm covering my entire body in this color, but the rest of me is this color. But okay. I like the finish of the cushion. It is a little bit shiny, without being set by powder, but I like that because then if I set it with powder it becomes just a little bit less shiny. However, the base that I have on at the moment, like my skincare today, is fairly shiny too, so it's a little bit more shiny than normal, but it's super quick and easy to apply, and it gives a nice, I would say, light to medium coverage. I can still see a lot of scars. I've got like this one piece of hair stuck to my face right now. I can still see a lot of scars, but they are sort of like, they look really natural. So they're not totally covered up. It's not a high coverage or full coverage foundation, but it's yeah, light to medium. I think if I packed on more I could probably get a higher coverage finish, but then it would also look more obviously the wrong tone. So I'm going to do the other half of my face now, and then I will zoom in and show you guys what it looks like up close on the skin too. So this is how we're looking. You can see on this side, you can see quite a few like little freckles around here, and then like a few little scars with a little like, and one might be like the start of a pimple maybe. A little bit of redness down here. It just looks like very, very natural coverage. Same with on this side, there's a bit on the birthmark, but again, nothing covers this up because it's a totally different skin tone. You can still see a lot of that redness peeking through. Forehead is usually the worst for texture. Because it is quite shiny, you can see a lot of that texture, like in the reflection, but it's not really, it's not too bad, really. It's not terrible, but it's not really doing much for it. I have got a bit of dryness around the eye area, so I get dry up here for some reason. So the cushion is clinging to those dry patches. I don't know if I can see that on camera or not. Same with on the other side. It's a little clingy, but it's not terrible. I do find it a little hard to blend in some smaller places. So for example, I just saw on this side, I've got like one tiny bald patch there, But when you do that, see how now I've got the bald patches migrated. That sounded very Kiwi, migrated. Yeah, it's really hard to blend out everything because every time I feel like I touch the skin, I just make more marks that need to be blended out. But it's infuriating. So yeah, I don't find that the foundation really is like super sticky to the skin. It's easy to move, and I did find that that is true after the longevity test as well. So I'm sure you will see that too. So I'm going to set this with powder and then try not to touch my face for the rest of the day, and I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later on. Okay, so the foundation has been on for 6 hours now. Just turn the exposure down a little bit. And we're looking pretty much how I expected. I do have quite deep marks where the glasses have been, so you can see around the nose, and then on top of the cheek here it's starting to move around. Same on the other side of the nose, but not so much on the cheek because the glasses don't touch this cheek, they only touch this one. I think that the texture is not the nicest, so you can see especially around my mouth at the moment I have got like a little pimple there, but just the texture of how the foundation looks, it's kind of like quite bumpy, it's not very smooth and nice. The skin in general isn't too bad, like the forehead is looking all right. That was so Kiwi sounding. The general like cheeks and everything look fine. There's a bit of oil through the T-zone, so in this part of my cheeks where we've got more pores you can see a lot more shininess. Chin, that's okay. Yeah, nose is looking pretty shiny. I do find that when I touch the skin that when there's oil, the foundation, you can kind of see it comes off onto the tip of the finger there, so try not to touch your face if you have oily skin. But yeah, it doesn't look terrible from a distance. Like if you were to see me like on a regular day, you're probably like, oh, she's a bit like shiny, but that's about it. So it's not bad, but it's not great. So it is the end of the day. It has been about 12 hours, just a little bit over. And this is how the foundation is looking so far. I'm just turning towards the light source. It's not terrible, but it's not great. So obviously there is a bit of shine in the T-zone, so across the forehead, the nose, chin is okay, and across where the pores are, you can see quite a lot of shine there. Some of this is made worse by the overhead lighting, so, but some of it is truly shiny. So if I run my finger down my nose like this, nice and gently, the foundation does come off. So this comes off onto the finger there. So if I wanted to get rid of these glasses marks, I could just kind of smudge it back around. Any other places you can kind of like mold it and pat it into place. However, like if you had a jersey on and you took it off, and it rubbed your face, or you put a jersey on and you pull it down over your nose, you would end up with a stripe of no foundation because it is just melting off. If you don't touch it, there are no problems. So I am not a huge fan of the longevity. So previously to this, I did talk about it in my haul where I was wearing it for a day and I was in a car accident. It was not a serious car accident, but it was a car accident that took up a lot of time, and my car got written off, which wasn't great. And I showed a picture of what I looked like, and I looked totally fine in that picture. And for that day, I did look totally fine. It might just be like today my skin is particularly oily. I don't know. In general, I do find that this foundation, it's not always quite this oily, but when I wear it for an extended amount of time, it does get like mushy. And that's what I don't like about it. I can deal with a bit of shine, but if I accidentally touch my face and the foundation comes off, no, not for me. I'm a big face toucher, and obviously I get quite cold at night as well, so I'll be putting on sweaters and stuff, so it doesn't really work out for me that well. So although it doesn't look terrible, it's like especially if I'm not in direct lighting, totally tolerable. But as soon as you look at the right light, she's quite dewy. Yeah. So for this one, I like it, but not that much. I think that the color is not quite right for my skin. It's either slightly too light or like maybe a little bit too like cool toned, which can make the skin look a little bit bright in comparison. I'm not sure which one, but it's not quite perfect. The application is fine. It's applies really smoothly, really easily. It doesn't cling too much to any dry patches, but it doesn't have very good longevity. I do feel like it gets quite oily in the T-zone, especially on the nose. As long as you don't touch it, it's fine, but if you do touch it, it does tend to sort of like disintegrate and slide around, and I don't like that very much. So it's probably one that I would recommend for princesses who have drier skin. I don't feel like this one actually moisturized or hydrated my skin, which in the product description it does claim that it will do, but I don't normally feel like any kind of cushion does that to my skin anyway, so I'm not extremely surprised. I don't think it's super radiant either. Like, it was a nice sort of satiny matte, but it wasn't super dewy. There wasn't anything super special about it, basically. It is a nice light color though, so if you struggle finding a cushion in the correct shade, then this one might be the one for you. So thank you so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!